So we got a lot of Bad Bunny on Backlash, Savio Vega, Zelina Vega, Carlito, and a lot of Puerto Rican pride as we held Backlash tonight, San Juan, Puerto Rico, at Coliseo de San Juan. Great crowd on Friday Night SmackDown. Great crowd tonight for the show. You know, it's like, well, you know, we always have a thing where Mexican crowds always get really hot for their shows. And Puerto Rico kind of gives you that kind of feel to it. And it's nice to go and see this crowd get this WWE show, because it should have been where San Juan was more regularly added to the lineup. Like, why the company doesn't go there more often. This return back here and Bad Bunny being up in front of it was fantastic. I mean, really, those people got a good show. Now, the double main event was the showcase of the night. Don't get me wrong, the 6-man tag with the Bloodline and Owens, Zayn, and Riddle, very good. But the people wanted to watch and see if Cody could go ahead and overcome Brock to go ahead and move forward and hopefully get his chance to continue to go forward up against Roman Reigns and get a rematch, which is the ultimate goal. That's what Cody Rhodes needs to be doing right now. And as for Zelina Vega, listen, great appearance out there tonight. Really proud, emotional time for her. She looked amazing, decked out in the flag colors. Excellent stuff. And I wasn't surprised that Savio Vega was going to be there. Well, I wasn't surprised because, you know, the WWE hasn't really done much with him as of late, but he can make the occasional appearance. But Savio Vega, if you didn't know, that guy's still a big deal in Puerto Rico because he still wrestles over there. And he's been Caribbean champion for a while. And then the last thing I remember seeing of Savio Vega was him and the feud against Richard Holiday, which unfortunately he left MLW, but like before he got sick and everything went on, Richard Holiday and Savio Vega had a great little feud going on. That was good stuff. But anyways, a little bit of the rift with the Bloodline with Solo Sikoa almost taking a shot at Jey Uso. So they're trying to create that rift. And listen, as they do with this Bloodline storyline, they continue to go ahead and build the rift along, and they make it where something's going to happen. There's a continuation of all this tension, all this drama, and it's a volatile situation with all of them right now. And it's funny where Roman Reigns isn't even out there for weeks to even say anything about this, because that's how it's been. But they've been able to build things up where Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens really shook things up. The tag titles going away, and then this rift. The storyline continues to build well. It doesn't have any means of slowing down. And that's the storyline that matters in this company. Meanwhile, don't get me wrong, LWO Judgment Day, that's good stuff. The inclusion of Bad Bunny into the storyline for the sake of the storyline was very good too. And everybody wants to go ahead and talk about, oh, how much is Vince involved in it? How much is his grubby little hands in it? It doesn't matter. We had a good show tonight. The build-up for those two matches right there were significant. They were good. So Cody and Brock, and then you had the Bloodline and that 6-man tag. All that there works out very well for what they're trying to do. So we'll quickly run through the card real quick. Just to give you a heads up. Website is wrestlingisreal.com. I never do the plugs and all that promotion like every other show should. You know, they all take like 5 minutes just like that. But I should say something right here on the top, right? So from there, I did redesign the site, and all past episodes are up there for the most part. So you'll see that I did a nice little run through for Backlash, previewing this past week. And I want to make sure that all of you have a chance to go and give feedback. I got a Facebook page. I leave it up there, facebook.com/wrestlingisreal. On Twitter at King of Podcasts. And I would love to go and hear from you from there. And also through the YouTube channel, youtube.com/King of Podcasts. All the episodes are up on YouTube. Going back to 2018? Yeah. I'll put them all up there. So if you catch them over there, little secret, no commercials on the YouTube feed. But there are commercials on the regular feed here through podcast, because as you listen to those and you listen through those, you know, I actually make a little revenue for the show. So if you don't mind listening to the commercials, you're actually helping me out, because I don't ask you for any other money at all. I'm unlike other shows, no Patreons, no extra gimmicks. Okay. So for the fact that if you're listening to the program, please listen through the sponsors. those that are on the ad revenue here so that I can go ahead and make a little bit of coin back for this program. And, you know, when I get that, I always put it back into the show. That's why I've been able to buy better microphones. And it's always been what's inspired me to continue to do the show each and every week. And if you also want to donate to the show, paypal.me/King of Podcasts. You can also do that there. So just thought of that. Oh, and I have a Cash App. Cash.app/$King of all podcasts. If you want to go that route, feel free to do so. And also shout you out on the air if you like to do and do that. I'm happy to go and do that. And I hope you'll consider it. One of the few times I ask about it, but I'll do it anyway, right here. So now in the matches tonight, Iyo Sky got a good run. Iyo Sky was well praised by this crowd throughout the night in Puerto Rico. They wanted to see someone else besides Bianca Belair win. And I'm wondering if there's a point where, if it's just here or in general, where Bianca Belair, maybe people are starting to get a little fed up that she's holding the belt for so long. And she has really no one else left on the roster to defend against. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what changes there were made on the rosters during the draft that would make any difference. But at the moment, well, Bianca's over on SmackDown. So we don't know if we're going to have the swap of the belts or what. But at this moment, we're just kind of in a spot. Not sure what to think about what goes on, but they had a good long match. 18 minutes to start. And Iyo got a lot of offense in. And I feel like with Iyo Sky, if they really wanted to, you know, we already know the damage control has already been together coming up on a year. And Bayley's going to be where she is at no matter what. If they split her off, she'll be fine. But when it comes to Iyo Sky, I always felt like if you're going to bring her up, why did you pair them up? I always thought that Iyo Sky kind of did not fit the mix over there. But I'd like to see a rift in damage control where Iyo Sky puts the blame on the fact that the match did not happen, which is the way the storyline should go. That Bayley and Dakota Kai were trying to help, but they screwed up Io's chance where she was actually about to go ahead and get the victory. That storyline needs to be told on Raw Monday night. Make that happen. And Iyo has a rift with damage control. Because then Bayley with Dakota Kai at her side probably works better than having the three of them together. I almost think like they would be better off. So Bayley always likes to have somebody like to her side. So like, let's go for that. I think that won't be a bad move. Now, Seth freaking Rollins over Omos. They gave Omos 10 minutes in this match. He got a lot of offense in, did not stink up the joint. But the thing is, it's a necessary evil that Omos is being built up and they're trying to build him into a monster because they have to have a monster on that roster. Strowman's not their guy. They don't have faith in him. They put him in that tag team right there with Ricochet to do something different. But right now, Omos has upside. Him and MVP have upside. And Omos is worth the time to keep building him up so he can become a big star. And he's the monster they need out there. And he works. So far, I mean, he has not been sticking up matches. And when it comes to doing matches over here, I mean, he's not been horrible. Okay? He did have that thing with Brock Lesnar trying to go ahead and knock him out to the outside over the ropes. But other than that, Omos has been still a bit green, but he's been safe. And they're at least working with him to do more and more each time. He's been progressing. I don't think he's been backtracking at all. He has to become better. He has to become what is necessary. He got to have this one guy, because I'll tell you, it makes sense for Omos to be this big guy that is, you know, that one formidable force that everybody has to go through. So when you see a Seth Rollins in a match like this, how rare is it that we see Seth Rollins in a match with somebody that is so big on the outside than him? Because that's the big difference. And that's something we see with a lot of wrestlers that used to be back in the day, where every time they either took on Kane or Undertaker or Big Show, they're running out of big guys. And they don't have anybody else. Which is what a Vince would be doing to try to go and get those kind of guys. And Omos is here. They've worked with him for a long time. And so far, they're getting somewhere with him. It's taking a lot of time. But look, Khali came and went. And there's plenty of big guys that tried to go and make something out of and couldn't. So this right here has to come across. Omos had to go and do something, but Rollins gets the win. Not much of a storyline to this, not much of a build to it, but this match is just put together for a one-off. And I imagine that the women's title matches are also one-off, unless Iyo Sky gets a rematch against Bianca Belair, which I'd like to see that happen, actually. Because of the fact also that Bianca Belair had one move that she did the one-handed press, putting Iyo up in the air and botched dropping her to the ground. Where, I mean, I saw it in the last 2 nights. Grant Williams for the Boston Celtics getting stomped from the head onto the hardwood, onto the parquet by Joel Embiid in the game of the Celtics and 76ers last night. And then tonight, seeing Iyo Sky falling flat on her face on the mat, stumble, because Bianca Belair kind of mistimed the drop with one hand. But that's because they're trying to get Bianca Belair to beat all these feats of strength. And I'm like, I get it, but I think at some point Bianca Belair already has more to that. So do we need to have those moves brought in? Especially when you have her doing that at the end of the match too. Because 15 minutes in, she might be getting a little bit tired. So like doing the strength moves at the end, that's asking a lot. She's not John Cena out there. Come on. Austin Theory, quick work of Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. All right, that's fine. We didn't need to see much of them anyway with what they were going to do. Austin Theory needs new competition. I'm kind of tired. We know Bobby Lashley's win the SmackDown. Well, and the thing is, they both moved over. So I don't know what you do with Austin Theory. He needs new, fresh competition. I don't care about Bronson Reed out there. I just don't. I feel like he's just like another Samoa Joe out there, just a bigger guy. But Bronson Reed, they need to repackage him or something, because I never really got so much of this. I don't know why, but I thought the Jonah character in Impact Wrestling was better. Maybe it's just the matches that he had. Because, I mean, seeing him go up against PCO on pay-per-view, that was a hell of a match, right? But, I just haven't got anything to me where I felt like I was really over the moon with the Bronson Reed, especially on the main roster. Not at all. I just don't get that much. It doesn't matter to me. Rhea Ripley gets a good work over Zelina Vega. And Zelina Vega did a good job. Listen, for her to get this moment, probably the biggest moment she's going to have in her career in WWE, to get this here. And then all the pageantry of her coming out to the ring, looking amazing. She had a good stand against Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley is so hot right now. She is so over. And you got to do what you're going to do with her. Rhea Ripley's going to hold on to that belt. Bottom line, you need to keep her where she's at. She's very strong here. She is the it girl right now over Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair the last couple of years has been on top, but now Rhea Ripley is the one up there. And we never got that match. We never really got that. We did get a match with them, right? But it's like there's a lot more story to be told between those two, and their parallel careers to this point. But with Rhea Ripley, listen, the whole Judgment Day thing going on about SmackDown will keep her busy with things. But then what do we do with her own individual title run? I don't know, because we got to think about who they have that really stands out, that people want to go and see her, who they want to see her go up against going forward. But this is all new things. Listen, we're just coming out of WrestleMania only a month ago. So Backlash was to kind of just take a few things here, move some things forward, which is what you did basically with the 6-man tag. You did with Cody and Brock. Like, that's what you did with those matches, right? And also the same you could say with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. They did a good job with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest to set up that match. Bad Bunny came out to one of his original songs that he did in 2018, Chambea, which is one of his, like really, it's one of the killer songs that, like, that's like one of those songs they'll do at the concerts. And, like, you heard the crowd. They all sang along. And Chambea is one of his real, like, gangster style songs. And by the way, I cannot just go this week without talking about Bad Bunny and, like, the contrast in styles and mannerisms. Okay. I'm just saying, I don't know how he does it, because, okay, Bad Bunny has like his hardcore songs, like in the last album right now, Un Verano Sin Ti, right? A Summer Without You. His songs go all over the place. It's like he can go hardcore and he can act tough. You know, Titi Me Pregunto, which is like a very much of a dembo beat to it. But then he goes to Neverita, and that's the one where like it was just like a kind of a, it's dancey pop kind of like, you know, almost like a ballad kind of feel to it. It's just like this kind of soapy, soft kind of thing. But Chambea was like the hardcore, like this is him going gangster. Like his look was even different back then because at that time Bad Bunny was completely shaved. No facial hair whatsoever. Had the sunglasses, still doing all that, but like, and also a different look. But then again, that's what we were doing before in 2018. And he was starting to get hot right then. 2016, it was starting to pick up. That's when I started hearing about him. 2018, 2019, starting to blow up the spot. And the last couple albums he's had now, the World Tour, and this last one blew up the spot. But I'll tell you, I see him at the Met Gala in the backless suit. I don't know what to think. And then, like, okay. And then I see him out here in a street fight, going all gangster. But this is like what he does. Okay. He has a way of going like to basically kind of placate to every audience out there. To the girls, he knows how to do that. For the guys, he has some way to do that. Because also I got to remember that Bad Bunny was also in Narcos and had a way to go and do things on there. Like there's just something, man. This guy just has some kind of range. So he's out there. They gave him 25 minutes for the San Juan Street Fight. I thought it was fine. The plunder was good. The whole build-up with Savio Vega coming out and Carlito coming out, the LWO coming out, Rey Mysterio coming out, Judgment Day getting blasted out there. That was all good. They did a good job of giving a lot. And then Bad Bunny took some blows, man. He took a table shot. He was taking a lot of stuff. And he got to do an extreme match, which I'm sure he loved to go and be able to do with Damian Priest together on this. Was great stuff. And also, Damian Priest, also Puerto-Rican, putting all that blood together and putting a hell of a match. Like it was a very good, memorable street fight. Very souped up, good stuff. You get into the Bloodline and Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. 22 minutes for that match. Also, strong match going on. Not much to be said for the Bloodline, except for the fact that it was about the rift between the Bloodline with Solo Sikoa and his brothers, which they made a big point to stress on that match. And good to see Matt Riddle back out there and just running the spot. Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, super over. Usos, super over. And then Cody with a quick win on Brock to finish things off. And also, Brock getting full color, busted open tonight. And they didn't go long with this match. And you know what? I'm very happy they decided to go this route. Because I didn't want to see Cody have to go through a long buster. I mean, the thing is, for anybody that thought that they were going to mess things up with Cody Rhodes, which I could have told you that last year, are they going to screw things up with him? Okay. So he loses the Roman at WrestleMania, but then he gets Brock, who screws him over the next night. And then Cody goes to Backlash and flat out takes out Brock. Finishes off Brock in 9 minutes. Pretty good. And Cody getting the win. Like there was no doubt about it. That helps Cody a lot. And I think that really actually builds him up better for the rematch against Roman Reigns. We just got to get there. I don't know if they're going to get there or not, but that's what they need to do, in my opinion, more than anything. So I hope they do that. Let's see if they figure that out. I'm going to give it a 20 minutes tonight. That's it. That's your that is your Backlash post show right here on the Wrestling Real Podcast. We'll have more going on. I know Under Siege is coming up. I know we're going to have back-to-back pay-per-views coming up with Night of Champions followed by Double or Nothing. What a weekend that'll be in 3 weeks. We will do all that, but we'll come back Wednesday And we'll take the fallout here from Backlash and see what else they're doing to build up for Double or Nothing on AEW right here on the Wrestling Is Real podcast, because wrestling needs us.